Sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dear friends, first of all, thank you all for joining this session. I'm very happy to meet you all this evening. So, as Alex explained, I am hoping to talk about Paticcasamuppāda, the dependent origination. So we know that the Buddha, when he achieved enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, he was able to be free from all defilements, all greed, hatred and delusion, and he purified his mind, and he went beyond suffering. He escaped suffering, this cycle of rebirth. And out of compassion to the world, he explained the Dhamma. So the Buddha explained to his disciples how he achieved enlightenment, the way he considered wisely. Okay. So the main teaching regarding enlightenment is dependent origination. Okay, so I'm going to quote a sutta for you. So this sutta is from Samyutta Nikaya, which has a section dedicated for Paticcasamuppāda, dependent origination. So we know that there were previous Buddhas. Before Gautama Buddha, there was a long time ago, there was a Buddha named Kassapa. At that time, the lifespan of humans was 20,000 years. As per the teachings, the Buddha said the lifespan of human beings was 20,000 years. At that time, there was this Buddha named Kassapa. Before him, long time ago, there was a Buddha named Konagama. Before him, there was a Buddha long time ago named Kakusama. Okay, likewise, there were previous Buddhas. So the seventh Buddha from Gautama Buddha was called Vipassi. Okay. So I'm taking this sutta named Vipassi Sutta. Here the Buddha explained how Vipassi Buddha realized the noble truths and achieved enlightenment. Okay. All the Buddhas achieved enlightenment the same way. The reason is, all these Buddhas, before achieving enlightenment, they were searching for something. They were searching for liberation. From what? From suffering. So we call a person who is searching for enlightenment a bodhisattva, a person who is searching for enlightenment. So Vipassi Bodhisattva, he was going through this cycle of rebirth for uncountable amount of lives, and he was searching for liberation from suffering. So because of suffering, since he did not want to be in suffering, he wanted to be free from suffering, he was searching for a way to achieve enlightenment, and he developed these wholesome qualities like generosity, wisdom, virtue, concentration, and all these great qualities throughout his samsara, his cycle of rebirth, and finally he was able to achieve enlightenment and become the Buddha. So when he was sitting under the Bodhi tree, he achieved two knowledges. Okay? Through meditation, he achieved the first knowledge to recall his past lives. Before achieving enlightenment, before becoming the Buddha, he achieved this first knowledge to see past lives. So he was able to see what he was in his previous life, the life before that, the life before that. And he was able to see how beings came through their cycle of rebirth. So he was able to see the past. And he realized, so this is not the first birth. He he was born before and even before. So he has been coming through this cycle of rebirth. And then he achieved this knowledge called the divine eye to see how beings are born in different worlds when they die. So he was able to see some beings when they die, they will be born in hell. Some beings they will be born in animal world. Some will be born in the human world. Some will be born as devas or brahmins. So he was able to see how beings are born in different worlds according to their karma, according to their action. So now he has two knowledges. He can see the past and he can see how beings are born according to their action in different worlds. So now he was thinking, these beings, they travel in this samsara, in this cycle of rebirth, and they are being born in different realms according to their actions. There is no way that they can escape. They are suffering. When they are born, they will have to face old age, they will have to face sickness and death, and all these sufferings that they have experienced. So the Gautama Buddha said this sutta about Vipassi Buddha because Vipassi, the Blessed One, the perfected one, the fully awakened Buddha, had this thought before his awakening. So before achieving enlightenment, he had this thought. After having these two knowledges, so we have to remember that. So he knows how beings came through the samsara and how they are born in different worlds. So he was trying to find an answer for this. Okay? So before his awakening, before his enlightenment, he had this thought. When he was still unawakened, but intent on awakening. So he hasn't achieved enlightenment yet. Vipassi Bodhisattva was thinking, alas, this world has fallen into trouble. It's born, grows old, dies, passes away, and is reborn. Yet it doesn't understand how to escape from this suffering, from old age and death. So all these beings are in trouble because they are born, they grow old, they have to die, and they will be reborn. And they have no clue on how to escape from this suffering. And he thought, Vipassi Bodhisattva thought, oh, when will an escape be found from this suffering, from old age and death? So he was thinking like this. The Buddha said, then Vipassi, the Bodhisattva, thought, when what exists is their old age and death. So what is the cause for old age and death? So he first saw how beings suffer. They have to go through old age and death. And then he was thinking, what is the cause for this? When what exists is their old age and death. What is the requirement for old age and death? He was searching through his wisdom. Then, through rational application of mind, Vipassi Bodhisattva penetrated with wisdom. When rebirth exists, there is old age and death. Rebirth is the requirement for old age and death. So he figured out when a being is born in any world, any realm, they have to experience old age and death. If a being is born, that means he has to face this suffering. Then he was trying to find the cause for rebirth. Then Vipassi Bodhisattva thought, when what exists is the rebirth, is their rebirth. What is the requirement for rebirth? Then through rational application of mind, Vipassi penetrated with wisdom. When existence exists, there is rebirth. When existence is a requirement for rebirth. Bhava. So existence is the cause for birth. Okay, so we'll talk about existence later. And then he was going not from top to bottom, but from bottom to top. First, he was trying to find out what is the cause for old age and death. He figured out power is the cause, existence is the cause, and then he tried to figure out what is the cause for power, for existence. So, Vipassana Bodhisattva, through rational application of mind, he penetrated with wisdom. When clinging or grasping exists, there is existence. Clinging is the requirement for existence. So when attachment or clinging is there, upadana, when clinging is there will be bhava, existence. Then he thought, when what exists, is there clinging? What is the requirement for clinging? Then through rational application of mind, Vipassana penetrated with wisdom. When craving exists, there is clinging. Craving is the requirement for clinging. Then he figured out craving is the cause for attachment, for clinging. So likewise, he was applying his mind wisely, and he was able to figure out one by one, from bottom to top. So this is what is important. When we try to understand the dependent origination, we should go from bottom to top. Okay? First, we have to understand what suffering is, and then try to understand how this comes to be. Right? So he figured out feeling is the requirement for craving, and then he realized contact is the requirement for feeling. Sense bases are the requirement for contact. Name and form is the requirement for six sense bases. Consciousness is the requirement for name and form. Volitional formation, sankhara, is the requirement for consciousness. And ignorance is the requirement for volitional formation. Okay? So he was able to figure out all the links to this continuous existence. Okay? So then he realized that is how this entire mass of suffering originates. So all comes with ignorance. Ignorance means that when somebody does not realize the Four Noble Truths, if they don't understand the Four Noble Truths, that means that there is ignorance. So as a result of ignorance, they have to experience this dependent origination, and finally they have to suffer. So the Buddha said, Vipassana Bodhisattva thought, this is how this entire mass of suffering originates. And he was thinking, origination. So he was thinking, this is how it originates. While Vipassana was intent on awakening, the Bodhisattva, Vipassana Bodhisattva, gained the vision, knowledge, wisdom, realization, and light. And he realized how these 12 factors are formed. Okay? And then he tried to realize the cessation of the Paticcasamuppāda, dependent origination. So he was thinking, when what does not exist, is there no old age and death. So he was thinking, when what doesn't exist, is there no old age and death. That means he figured out, when birth is not there, there is no old age and death. Okay? And he went beyond that. He understood, when birth doesn't exist, there is no old age and death. when birth ceases, old age and death ceases. And he was going upwards. He thought, when what doesn't exist, is there no existence. When what ceases, does existence cease. When he was thinking like that, he figured out when I'm talking about existence. We understood when clinging is not there, there is no existence. When clinging ceases, existence ceases. So he was able to understand the cessation of of all these factors. So finally, he was able to understand ignorance has to be ceased. Ignorance has to be abandoned. And then he realized this is the cessation. He was able to understand cessation. Cessation means the ending of all these factors. And vision, knowledge, wisdom, realization, and light arose in Vipassana Bodhisattva, and he became the Buddha. Okay? Vipassana Bodhisattva became the Buddha. In the same way, Sikhi Buddha appeared in the world, and then Vipassana, Sikhi, Vesabu, Kakusanda, Kavanagavana, Kassapa, and Gautama Buddha appeared in the world in the same way. And in the future, the Buddha said there will be another Buddha called Maitri or Mette. He will achieve enlightenment in the same way, the same manner. Okay? So this is how we realize the within origination. So now we can discuss. If you have any questions, you can ask now. We will discuss. Maybe we can start with suffering. What would you like to discuss now? So there is, I will tell, there is a simile to describe this. The Buddha said, when it rains to a mountain, all the water will be poured onto the mountain, and little streams and little water sources will start, and streams will be filled, and these little streams will be connected to big streams, like small rivers. They will be filled, and these small rivers will go into big rivers. They will be filled, and then finally, ocean will be filled with water. So it all starts with the rain. So just like that, with ignorance, when ignorance is there to support the next fact, sankhara, it will support vijnana, namarupa, salayata, and it will support all these things, and finally jara mara, suffering will exist. So all starts with ignorance. But to understand Paticcasamuppāda, dependent origination, we have to understand first suffering. We have to go from bottom to up, not from top to bottom.
Why is that?
It's because suffering is the problem. We have to understand the problem first. We need the Dhamma. We need to learn the Buddha's teachings because there is suffering. Because there is old age and death. So when we understand the problem, we try to figure out what is the cause for this problem.
When you say Buddha was understanding about this, all these 12 things, did he go from moment to moment, or it had like multiple birth, multiple lifetime for him to understand all this?
No, this he reflected like this under the Bodhi tree. So he achieved enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, right? He sat down under a tree, and he was considering wisely. So being seated under that tree, he, as I said before, he achieved these two knowledges: to see past lives and to see how beings are born in other worlds. And then he got a nice picture about this cycle of rebirth. And he figured out all the beings have to suffer in this cycle of rebirth, old age and death. And then he tried to figure out what is the cause for old age and death. He realized rebirth, being born again and again, is the cause. So when there is birth, there is old age. So what is the cause for birth? Existence. So existence is explained in another sutta. In that sutta, it is the Buddha said, when there is karma, that means when we do actions, there will be a result in the future, right? So when we do good actions, there will be a good result in the future. When we do bad actions, there will be a bad result in the future. So that we call that karma. That karma will form kind of a field. When we die, our consciousness will go to the next field because of that result of karma. So the Buddha said it is like, he gave a simile. It is like a farmer planting a seed. Okay, so the Buddha said, when a farmer plants a seed, first he creates the field. Okay, he needs the field to plant the seed. So when he plants a seed, he will pour water, right? So you need the field, you need the seed, and you need the water. So the Buddha said, when he was explaining existence, he said, karma or action is the field. Consciousness is the seed. Craving is water. That means when we do good actions, a result will come in the future. That means there is a field which we cannot see. When we die, our consciousness will go and be planted in that field, just like a seed is planted on earth. It can be a womb, it can be an egg, it can be a heavenly abode or a Brahma realm. That is a field, and when we die, our consciousness will be planted in that field. So this is called existence, Bhava. So that happens all because of karma, action. So we are actually stuck in this cycle of rebirth because of action. Whatever action we do, that will carry a result in the future.
What happened if there was a birth and there's death without going through all this? Like a child was born and then he died the next day.
He has all the karma he had accumulated in his past. So he came to this human world because there was this human field which was made before being born. In one of his previous lives, he had done a good action which will take him to this human world, because this is a good world, right? Compared to the animal world and hell and ghost world, this is a good realm. It's kind of a heavenly realm, actually. So he had done a good deed in his past, in one of his past lives, which created a field in this human world. When he died, his consciousness was planted in this field, and he was born as a human being. But when he dies, he still has karma which he had accumulated all this time in the cycle of rebirth, and will create a field for his next life. And he will be born in that realm. So what happens when you achieve the fruit of stream entry? When you achieve the first stage of enlightenment, when you become a stream entrant, the field which one will be born in a hell world, in one of these four hells, will cease. That field will disappear. So he will only have a field in the human world or in a heavenly world or in a Brahma world. So he will definitely be born either in the human world or in a heavenly world or in a Brahma world. He will not be born in a hell world, because that field has the field which is below the human realm has vanished, has been destroyed. That is called Bhava Nirodha. So the Buddha said Bhava Nirodho Nibbana. Nibbana or Nirvana is the cessation of Bhava, cessation of existence. So he was able to realize this because he had these two knowledges. He was able to see how beings came throughout this samsara and how they are being born in other worlds according to their actions. So he was able to figure out this field. So when beings die, they are born in another world because there is this field. It's like it's difficult to say. It's like when you have a magnet, there is a magnetic field, right? You cannot explain that beyond that. There is a magnetic field, and when you bring a piece of metal, it will get attracted. You don't know what it is, but you know that it's there. Just like that, karma forms a field.
When we speak about karma, we talk about actions as the consequences, and action holds the karma. Does thinking something badly consider a karma? Because like sometimes when we get emotional, some people curse by heart. Don't say, but by heart they curse. So is it even though the person did a very bad thing, we curse them. So is it a bad karma?
There is a mental action. Mental action, that is also karma. But it is not like when you curse with your mind, if you don't physically harm that person, that is not a physical action, that is a mental action. It's like when you have anger towards somebody, that is also an action. It will carry results in the future. For example, you will be born as an ugly person as a result of that. Just to explain. Because of anger. You have been cultivating anger. The Buddha said, if you develop loving kindness, you will be born beautiful.
But anger is a sort of emotion like happiness, like joy, sadness. How can it be bad?
Because it destroys your inner good qualities, right? Like if you have developed loving kindness, if you cultivate anger, that loving kindness will be destroyed. How can you develop loving kindness and anger at the same time?
Is karma created by sankhara?
Yes. So sankhara is explained in two different ways. First way is kaya sankhara, vaci sankhara, chitta sankhara. Kaya sankhara means breathing in and out. See? In breath and out breath. Kaya sankhara. Vaci sankhara means vitakka vichara, thought and sustained thought. Chitta sankhara means sanya vedana, perception and feeling. That is one way of explaining it. And in another sutta, Buddha said, Punyabhi sankhara, apunyabhi sankhara, anenjabhi sankhara. Punyabhi sankhara means good actions. Punya, wholesome actions. Apunyabhi sankhara means unwholesome actions. Anenjabhi sankhara means the kind of sankhara that we develop when we meditate. When we achieve jhanas. That is also a sankhara. So the Buddha explains in different perspectives. Like the Buddha explained suffering as the six sense bases. Also he explained suffering as the five aggregates. Also he explained suffering as the six elements, dhatu. So he can explain the Dhamma in different perspectives.
So can I say that when sankhara exists, karma exists. When there is sankhara cease, there is no karma generated.
Yeah, you can say that because the Buddha said when he achieved enlightenment, he said, "Aneka jati samsaram sandhavisam anekasam jakarakam vayasantu." He said, "Visankhara gatam chittam." He said, "My mind became void of sankharas." Visankhara. Sankhara means
Void.
yeah. My mind became free from sankhara. That means he can think, but no sankhara will be formed. There won't be a result. Because he had removed craving completely. He had removed greed, hatred, and delusion completely. He had purified his mind, and he can talk. He can teach the Dhamma. He can support the Sangha. He can do all these things, but there will not be karma formed. There is no field for him. So when he passes away, he will not be reborn.
So another term is for existence. The tenth.
Sorry,
it's
existence.
Existence. Because some people they explain it as will to live, being. So which one more is that?
Desire to live.
Desire to live. Will to live. They got will to live.
That is, when you explained tanha, you remember the Dhammacakkappavatana Sutta, he explained craving as kama tanha, bhava tanha, vibhava tanha, right? They are bhava tanha, craving for existence, craving for sensual pleasures, craving for existence, and craving for non-existence. So in that case, bhava tanha means craving for existence, right? The desire to live. That is bhava tanha. But bhava means existence. So I was referring to another sutta where the Buddha explained bhava as with that simile, the simile of the field. Because in that sutta, Venerable Ananda goes to the Buddha and asks, "Bhante, what is bhava?" And the Buddha said, if there is no karma to be given results, will there be a bhava?
There is no one.
If there is no karma.
Karma.
Yeah. So if there is no karma to ripe in the human world, there won't be a human bhava. There has to be karma, there has to be an action which has done, which will give a result in this realm. If that karma is not there, there will not be an existence in this world. So all these worlds exist because of karma. So a hell world exists Because there are unwholesome actions like killing beings and all these violent actions are there in this world. Because of those actions, these actions will give a result in that realm. Therefore, a hell world is there. So the human world is there because there are good actions. So those actions will give results in this realm. So we will be born as humans. That is a Deva world because there are wholesome actions like being generous, giving dana, practicing loving kindness. These are wholesome deeds. Because of these wholesome deeds, wholesome karma, there will be a heavenly world. Since there are jhanas, when people develop meditation and develop jhanas, that's a good karma, right? That's a mental karma. Because of that karma, there will be a Brahma realm. So all these worlds are there because there are karma. So when ignorance is completely eradicated by realizing the Four Noble Truths, the mind will be free from sankhara, will be free from karma. That whatever action that arahant does, there will be no karma formed and there won't be a result. So when he passes away, but he will live in this world because he had done actions in his previous life which brought him to this world, right? So he will have his eye, the ear, his nose, his tongue, body and mind until he passes away. So when that gets destructed, he will not be born in another world. His consciousness will cease. So this is actually an amazing discovery. The Buddha was able to discover this way to escape this problem, this continued existence.
This when we think the thing can correct karma for them without the physical action.
When we think about something, when you think an angry thought, that is karma. That is angry. So when you think with anger, that is a bad karma. When you think with loving kindness, that is a good karma. Yes.
Still, the karma is
Of course. So there is kaya kamma, vachi kamma, mano kamma. Kaya kamma means physical actions, bodily actions. Vachi kamma means verbal actions. Mano kamma means mental actions. So samma ditti, right view is a good action. If you have right view, that is a good action. Wrong view, if you do not believe in karma, if you do not believe in respecting elders, things like that, that is a bad karma.
We talk about karma from previous birth, but it wasn't my conscious. So how can I be responsible for my previous birth? How is it fair?
You cannot say it is not my life. When you were small, was it you?
they will do.
When you were a small boy, you had a different appearance. You had different thoughts. Your attitudes were different. But it's still you, right? Whatever you did as a small boy, you have to carry the results. Just like that, in your previous birth, whatever actions you did, you still have to carry the results.
This Mahayana practice, they have this belief that through a big ceremony blessing, we can erase karma, bad karma. So what about in our
Theravada Buddhism? There is no way to do that. In our tradition, there is no way.
Can Bhante repeat again?
Yeah, there is no way to erase karma with rituals or whatever ceremonies we do. We can. I mean, there are methods to purify, like we can bathe, holy water, do whatever. I can spray you with this, bless, but that will not wash, because whatever we did, we did it with intention, and a sankhara is formed with that action. Our mind was involved, and that will give results.
So can I say that ideology is actually a wrong view?
It is definitely it is wrong view. The only way to be free from karma is to achieve enlightenment. When you achieve enlightenment, that field will cease. The existence. When you achieve stream entry, like if you have done unwholesome deeds which had created a field in the hell world, that will disappear when you achieve the state of stream entry. That field will vanish. The field, if you have done bad karma, we have done actually in our past lives, which will take us to the animal world. When we achieve stream entry, that field will disappear, will cease completely. So we will not be born in that world when we die. So that is the only way, according to the teachings of the Buddha. Now we are actually referring to the words of the Buddha, right? Because we did not realize anything. We are followers of the Buddha. We listen to the Buddha's words as disciples. So we are relying on his teachings.
Question? Wrong?
So one thing the Buddha said about karma, he gave a simile. When you have a piece of salt, okay, you have a piece of salt.
Soil.
Salt.
Salt.
Garam.
Yeah. So when that piece of salt is put into the river, it won't do anything. The water will not be salty. But if you put into a cup of water, it will become salty, right? Just like that, if the mind is not developed, if someone has a normal, undeveloped mind, a small action, a small unwholesome action, like killing a mosquito, let's take an example. Killing a mosquito is a small action, right? That can take that person to hell. But if someone has developed the mind, if someone has developed samatha and vipassana, his mind is like the river. That piece of salt is not enough to make it salty. So the same action will not take that person to hell. There is a difference. So if the more you develop spiritually, the safer you will be.
I think it's well aligned on the right view, is it?
Sorry?
Just now the question. Is it the person realize the right view, then become a believer?
People, if someone realizes the right view, yes?
Will it be a river?
Huh?
When you have the right view,
Yes.
will it be a river?
Yes. So being a stream entrant means he has completed right view. He sees the Four Noble Truths. So he has developed his mind. Samatha and Vipassana have been developed. So his mind is a river. It's not a small bowl of water.
Could you explain the last advice of Gothamachethiya?
So his last advice was, Vaya Dhamma Sankhara Appamadena Sampadi. That means all sankharas, all conditioned things. So in that context, sankhara means all conditioned things. So we have to understand the context and get the meaning. When the Buddha explained Paticcasamuppāda, given in origination, sankhara means what we learned here, volitional formations. Right? But in this context, sankhara means everything that is conditioned, everything that is made out of causes. Right? They are subject to change, and they will cease, they will vanish. So anything will be destroyed at a later time, right? So the Buddha said, Vaya Dhamma Sankhara, all the conditioned things are subject to decay. Therefore, you should strive to achieve enlightenment. Appamadena Sampāda. Appamada means diligently you have to practice the Dhamma to be free from samsara.
Anicca vata sankhara upadavaya tamino
Yes.
vativa nirochanti tesam upasamosu.
Sorry. Anicca Sankhara means all the conditioned things are impermanent. Upada Vayadhamino, all the conditioned things, they come to be and they vanish. Upajjitva nirujjanti, they are formed and they cease. Tranquilizing that nature is ultimate bliss. So the Arahants, their mind is calm, and all the greed, hatred, and delusion are abandoned, removed completely, and they are free from suffering. That is ultimate bliss. All the sankharas are ceased.
Another question about this consciousness and namarupa, name and form. So these two exist together.
They support each other.
That means the others is one condition, others. These one together, right? At the same time.
Well, the Buddha gave a simile. It's like a bundle of bamboo sticks, like this. So two bundles of bamboo sticks can be balanced like this, right? One will support the other will support the first one, and they can stand like this. They can be balanced. Just like that, consciousness and Namarupa will support each other.
So if there is a case when consciousness and namarupa exist, can I say the being already exists?
Sorry?
Being
The being?
exists.
Sorry?
So when the consciousness and Namarupa
Huh?
are together,
Yeah.
that means the being already exists.
Because
Yes, of course.
Here you have verbs, right? So here, when there exists in space, the being already exists, right?
So, like these 12 beings, they are there all the time. It is not like ignorance appears first, and then at a later time formations appear, and then at a later time consciousness appears. It's not like that. They are there all the time. Ignorance is always there to support sankharas. Sankharas are always there to support consciousness. Consciousness is always there to support.
So they are all together.
They are all together. It's not like something appears first and then later something else appears. So it says avijja pacchaya sankhara. Pacchaya means supports. Avijja supports Sankhara. Sankhara supports Vijnana.
So the virus is actually ignorance.
Ignorance. Ignorance is like the summit,
The
the main,
rain
yeah,
from the city.
yeah, it's the top. So,
That created the ocean.
yes,
It's the master.
the
And the
master.
craving is the executor.
Yes, you can say that.
But then now we are practicing and all that, we always transfer merits, right? So it's our we follow the precept, we do good action and all that. So what is the point of giving merits when the other persons have not gotten the good deeds or good karma?
Because we do it with good faith. No?
Good faith.
Good faith. We are offering now. It doesn't it doesn't harm us to share merit. We do it with good faith. Let's say that person, the person who has passed away, wants to gain merit, and if they expect us to share merit, then there is a good chance for him to or her to be happy, right? So as a duty, we do that, to share merit.
So it doesn't harm if you don't do it.
No. It doesn't harm anybody. Yeah.
So it's just our practice that we do this.
Yeah. We, since the Buddha has said that some beings can get merit from others, we share merit anyway. It doesn't reduce our merit. Like lighting a lamp with another lamp, it doesn't diminish the
Our
light.
merits.
Yeah?
It doesn't reduce our
It
good
doesn't-
karma.
yeah,
And then,
Yeah, it doesn't reduce.
so it's okay to share as much as you want.
Yes.
The more you share, the more you gain.
Not like that also, right? The more we share, the more we gain.
That's the dana given.
There can be a truth. So when we do good things, we will get a good result.
So which being will enjoy this?
Mostly ghosts.
Ghosts.
Yeah, as per the teachings, some ghosts can, because they have to be able to see us doing these good also, right? And when they see, when they become happy of what we do, they can also gain a part of that good karma
Mainly in the ghost realm.
in the ghost world.
So anything beyond, they
Even gods can also, if they want, they can. But actually, in that sutta, the Buddha says, if the person is born as a deva, they are not bothered to look at the human world to gain merit. They already have merit. But if
They're
they
not
want, they
bothered.
can.
to get, I mean, if it is a good karma, a guy with good karma and all that, that karma, that merit doesn't support the deva.
If they want, they can become happy, and they can also be a part of that good karma. That will be a good karma for him,
For the deva.
for the deva. Yes. So this transferring of merit is very difficult to understand. We just do it out of faith. Right?
Could you
Because-
explain about metta? So now we transfer merits. Okay, this is part of our faith. But what about metta?
Metta is the main purpose is to wash anger from our mind, because we can have like an aversion towards another person who is far away. So when we spread metta to all the beings, that anger, that unwholesome thoughts will vanish,
Remove
will
from
be
this.
removed from our mind. That is also a good thing for others, because when we spread metta, it affects the world.
So
It's the metta that we mentioned, may I
May I be free from anger.
That is really studying metta.
Yeah. So we first reflect that may I be free from anger, and may I be free from suffering, may I be free from physical and mental pain, may I live in peace and happiness. And then we think that may all the beings around us, or may all the beings in this country be free from anger, be free from hatred, be free from suffering, may they live in peace, may they live happily. So we will cultivate loving kindness towards all beings. We can gradually spread metta to all the beings in the universe.
This is called metta.
That is metta meditation, spreading metta.
Will it really work?
Sorry?
Spreading metta
Yes?
to another person, will it really give loving kindness to the other party?
So, to some extent, it might change the way we behave or the way we think. It will affect the mind of the other person.
Right.
The stronger the metta we have, let's say somebody comes to kill us. When we spread metta, he might change. He might start liking us.
So we can use this in the business.
Yes.
Spreading metta.
Seperti cana sukita bentuk.
Sabbe satta,
Seperti cana sukita bentuk.
So when you understand Paticcasamuppāda, all the things we do as Buddhists will become meaningful. Whatever good thing we do, whether we are generous and when we support another person, we will know that according to Paticcasamuppāda, this is going to benefit us. Everything is meaningful. The Buddha, the enlightenment, the Dhamma, the Sangha, meditation, dana, everything becomes meaningful when you have a good understanding of dependent origination.
Okay. There's realms, our realms and everything. There's animal realm, human realm, hell, and sort of things. In many other religions, they believe God determines where this soul is supposed to be. They should go to hell, they should go to heaven, the devas, but in Theravada Buddhism, who determines it?
Karma. Karma determines. So your own actions will determine your future. So even, let's say, even if there's a God taking all the decisions, God will only take all the good people to heaven and all the bad people to hell, right? So they are also one who does good actions, good karma will go to heaven. Those who do bad actions, bad karma will go to hell, right? Basically.
Rituals and bribery doesn't take.
Yeah. But you cannot bribe God, right? You cannot do all the bad deeds and do all the prayers and please take me to heaven. It won't work. So there is a simile that the Buddha gave. So there is a person who does unwholesome actions. He kills beings all his life. He has killed beings, taken what is not given, has done sexual misconduct, has lied, has done all the bad deeds. And when he dies, people will gather around his body and will pray, please, may this person be taken to heaven. May he be born in a heavenly world. The Buddha says it will never happen. He gives a simile. It's like you take a big rock, a big boulder, and you put it into the lake. And all the people in the village, in the town, gather around the lake and pray. May this rock float on water. It will not. It will sink down the lake. Just like that, the person who has done unwholesome deeds will be born in hell. And he gives another simile. That is a person who has done wholesome deeds, has been virtuous, has developed loving kindness, has been generous. Such a person dies, and all his haters get to come around his dead body and curse. May this person be born in hell. But he will not be born in hell, he will be born in heaven. The Buddha says it's like you take a pot of oil and you turn it upside down and sink that underwater, under the lake, and you break the pot. What will happen to the oil? It will flow. So people around in the town will come around the lake and they will pray, may this oil sink, but it will not, it will float. Just like that, the person who has done wholesome deeds will be born in a good realm. So it only depends on one's own actions.
Bhante, lying for good, is it a good karma? As in, I'm going to lie, this truth is going to make someone really sad, it's going to make them broken. So I lie for good.
In temporary, if you think of, for a short time it might work, but lying you will lose reputation, right? It will have a bad effect. Because when he realizes, okay, this person has lied, so there is a good chance that you will lie again. If we have been practicing lying, that means we will do it again in the future. So that has a unwholesome element in that. It is not a pure action. It might do good for a short period of time, but it is not a pure action. Maybe the same result can be gained with a different approach. Without lying, you can say something else.
Don't tell the truth.
That is where you need wisdom.